Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, it's W-O-R-I-M-I, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. First of all, huge love to Linda G. She is doing well, very perky, and I believe is going for a scan tomorrow. So absolutely sending so much love and healing to Linda G, who really is the godmother of us all. So thank you, Linda. As you'll notice, my eyes have gone poof again. I've worked out what it is. It's a contact dermatitis. Um, uh, and I know what's setting it off. It's the washing powder. And the reason why I know is they were getting better over the weekend. Then I did the ironing. And I was ironing with the steam iron some shirts that had been washed with the old powder. And the steam that was coming off those shirts, I could feel the chemical reactions happening in my eyes. And then last night, despite having antihistamines, so I've pretty much got that sorted what the issue is. But that I'm still also no other no other washing detergents, liquid soaps or anything like that, just until they do clear up. I'm off to the doctor's on Thursday, which is in a couple of days' time. I could have had it earlier, but this is an extremely busy week for various reasons, and one of the reasons is I may or may not be on tomorrow because the house is being thoroughly cleaned inside and out tomorrow. Got a couple of crews coming through because we're having an open day, VIP open day the day after. Which is the start of our selling campaign. So let's see how that goes. Okay, where on earth do I start today? Well, first of all, I start with entertainment only, which I know I need a big banner in the background that says that. And when I get to the new house and I have a permanent setup, then yes, I will set one up. So very quickly, 5.6 earthquake in Queensland near Hervey Bay. No, nowhere near me. I'm about a 10-hour drive south of Hervey Bay, however you like to pronounce it. But yeah, onshore, on mainland, earthquakes are quite rare for Australia, so that ties in again with that reading I did last week with Mother Nature trying to settle herself. In regards to what's happening in the United States at the moment, well, across my desk, this is the reason why people aren't coming. A New Zealand woman who'd lived in the US with a valid visa for years went to drop her older two children off at Vancouver Airport, I believe, to fly back to New Zealand to visit grandparents. And Vancouver was the one that had the direct flight. She was with her 6-year-old son heading back into the US, and apparently because of a box that hadn't been ticked on her re-entry forms or something, both her and her 6-year-old son were thrown into custody for 3 weeks. Apparently her son had correct paperwork. She asked if her partner could come and pick the son up and was denied. This is why we ain't coming. So I'm just putting it out there. Please understand that us people from other countries, we're actually scared to go to the United States at the moment. But bravo, I believe there were protests this last weekend throughout 30-odd states that we just don't hear about on the mainstream media. So what do I want to have a look at? Well, there's a few things, and I am wondering whether to do this reading as one big one or break it up into several smaller. I might break it up, otherwise we'll still be here in about 3 hours' time. No, there was no pew-pew event, but what I found really interesting was that got off the plane at the Air Force Base, got into the bulletproof protected US presidential car, also known as the Beast, together to travel to their where the summit was being held. And then US fighter jets escorted the Putin plane. I can't find out how far they escorted him for. So, but the fact that, and it was on Russian media, all over the place on Russian media, that he got escorted back to Russia with US fighter planes. So I'm really getting the feeling that they got info about an attempt and then basically protected the bejesus out of them. Okay, so where on earth do I start with this? Well, first of all, so Zelensky is traveling to the US to meet in Washington with the orange twerp at the White House. Big lessons learnt last time. He's not going alone. I gather Starmer, Merz, Macron and Rutte are all confirmed to actually go with him to the White House, the Oval Office. Shady's still over in the UK, I believe, perhaps golfing up in Scotland or something. It's about the only place he's welcome is a Trump resort up in Scotland after he got banned from a pub, we call them, where Harris had died literally weeks earlier. But you've got these four powerhouses flanking Zelensky going to this meeting with the orange twerp. There's a lot to unpick here. We've got the documents that were found in the printer that named the Putin figure, and a lot of readers are now coming out and saying it was a body double. I've been saying for gosh, months and months, 18 months or something, body doubles for Putin. The jaw was different. My pickup was, usually, if you look at sideways photographs of Putin back in the day when it was really Putin, he has a very square jaw at the side. The photos from this summit on the weekend, the jaw was very angular going up to the ear. So it's almost like they've tried to put filler in, but it didn't take, and the jaw's actually really sloped. Others are picking up the ears or just the walking gait and things like that, and the fact that Putin never smiles and he doesn't shake hands. Where was I going? The documents had the president of the Russian Federation written on them. This was the documents that were left in the printer. Well, that is very much USSR titling. Called him His Excellency. Now, these were supposedly documents printed off by the US Protocol Office, calling him the Putin figure His Excellency, and naming a gift that was to be given to the Putin figure of an American bald eagle desk statue. Where do I go with this? I'm actually going to throw this one out first. What cards am I going to use? I might use the... I'm just going to use my normal Gilded Tarot Royale. Were these documents deliberately left in the printer? There is so much to unpack after this weekend. A lot of us readers have been saying that this weekend was really pivotal. So I'm using the Gilded Tarot Royale. Another pivotal moment was the footage of after the press conference where basically Putin owned him. Putin owned the orange twerp. He spoke first. That was another thing in regards to the body double. Putin himself, or historical Putin, shall I put it that way, was very fluent in English. He refused to speak it with visiting dignitaries because it was a power game, forcing an interpreter. At the end of the press conference, the Putin figure stumbled over his English when he was putting out the invite to Moscow. And then later behind the scenes, they had, after the press conference, the Russian media put out footage of the Putin figure and the orange twerp chumming it up, but with an interpreter. So again, something's not quite right there. And as I split the deck, we've got this Queen of Swords. She's very much about strategizing. We've got the Doves of Peace here strategizing, but we've got the the Seven of Swords, the stealing, the betrayal, the deceit, and all the rest of it. So, what I want to have a look at is First of all, were those documents deliberately left on the printer? I might just do this as a really, really, really long video. I do apologize. Grab your cup of tea, grab your lunch, and let's go for it. Okay, show me. Show me. Were those documents deliberately left on the printer? Now, I gather the lunch was cancelled. Okay, feels like there was some pressure there. Was this, oh, the lunch was cancelled. Somebody was walking away. Oh, okay, thank you. Right. The lunch was cancelled and these fell out. Secrets being revealed. Now, I suspect it's because of this document that was left on the printer. Secrets being revealed, brought to the light, that were meant to be kept secret, had them walking away from the lunch. Okay. We've got here some big announcement coming about, is it election interference or money laundering? I mean, this is my card for both of those. It's a collective awakening, a call to arms about the money laundering. Now, you've got to remember the orange twerp has been confirmed by Russia, and a Russian asset, not a spy, but an asset, in other words, they used and abused him, since the 1980s. They've been playing him up since the 80s. So there's some big announcement that's going to come out, or the threat of an announcement. And what happened is, okay, thank you. Documents I'm getting, yes, they were deliberately left. Actions having consequences, and we've got the abuse of power, betrayal, deceit. It's also self-sabotage. So this is if there's a saboteur in the camp. So yeah, actions having consequences and the saboteur in the camp. Sorry about the light. It's one of those days again. Okay, so I am getting, yes, that they were deliberately left. What more out of those documents? Why did they leave them? Why did they leave them? Why did they leave them? I'm tasting disgust. Oh, Boris Johnson came out and said the greeting between the orange twerp and the Putin figure was vomit-inducing. Oh my goodness, how bad does it have to be for Boris Johnson to actually say how horrific it was? Arnold Schwarzenegger also made a statement, a lot have made a statement about how shameful. You know, basically it felt like a movie where you've got the two love figures running towards each other and then they embrace to the music. Yeah, that was pretty much that red carpet. But let's have a look. Let's have a look. Those papers left on the printer. What is there anything more we need to know about them before we move on? Something has popped out. Let's have a look. Is there something more we need to know about those papers that were left on the printer before we move on? Okay. Getting that it warns the regime that there is a spy in the camp, but they don't know who it is. Surely they can backtrack and find out who printed them. But it's like a warning. Come on down. Sorry about all the big long waffle beforehand. Yes, somebody surrendered information here. So is there something more we need to know? So we've got all this documentation in the background, standing tall, standing firm. This figure has presented one item of it. Okay. Can they go back and check go into a memory of a printer and find out other information that was printed out? I don't know, because I'm assuming it was Wi-Fi. Okay, but yeah, they've offered up this one item. Boy, oh boy, are they going to be looking for who it was that left it there? The Five of Wands, the throwing under the bus, the infighting behind the scenes, the blame game. So that's going to be the challenge. They're going to try and find out who it was, and I'm talking about the regime, not the hotel staff. Yeah, they're not happy that this was left on the printer. The foundation of the reading is the Six of Cups. It can be a naivety card, but it's also an emotional wanting things to go back to how they were. Why am I hearing Susie Wiles? Was it Susie Wiles that did this? Not liking the direction that things are taking. I'll have to ask in a minute whether it's Susie Wiles. This actually feels more important than the attention that's been given to it. So the Six of Cups, wanting to go back to how things were beforehand. In the past, got this female figure with the sword. I don't know what star sign Susie Wiles is. I'll have to look it up. But this is a behind-the-scenes strategy. Got the doves of peace circling, and this was a deliberate strategy in regards to something, and it is the female figure. Goodness me, have you seen Susie Wiles's hairdo? That's a harken back to the 50s and 60s. But yeah, this was deliberate. Okay. The Ten of Swords, the energy hanging over. So was it deliberately left? Yes, it was. Ten of Swords, just yet another stab in the back. But it's almost like the swords are poised to fall. And this was just one more item. Now we know when the orange twerp goes down, his entire cabinet are going to go, Rubio, Hegseth, all the rest of it. It's going to be a clean out, massive clean sweep. Oh yes, and that reminds me, it was Hegseth's church that want to remove the vote, not Mikey of the Little Johnson. Okay. Immediate future, we've got the King of Pentacles. It is my Musk card, but this can also be oligarchs behind the scenes, putting their, oh gosh, okay. Does that look like Shady with the stubble on the face? Could be my new Shady card in the immediate future after this infighting and downfall. The externally, information coming in from overseas, which could be Mark Rutte coming over today, giving some home truths, or this can simply be a plan coming to fruition. Because what I keep getting, and I've been getting for a while now, that there was a deal that the orange twerp was supposed to get in, then he was supposed to hand over to Shady, and I think he's reneging on that deal because now that he's in, he doesn't want to give it up. And they're trying to find a way to remove the orange twerp without removing him, if that makes sense. If you can hear some snoring, that spot next to the table there. Yeah, something coming out of left field, information coming out of left field internally. Some sort of an announcement coming forward. Hopes and fears, there is will be a choice about which way to progress. The light strength path or down into the thorny thicket. The outcome, Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving help. Or it's my money laundering vote card, vote flipping card. The Seven of Cups, smoke and mirrors and delusion and choices that need to be made, and then a manifestation. This is clouding the emotions. Money may have even changed hands deliberately, but then we've got the Magician, the manifestation of the new being brought forward. But however, we've got this wish fulfillment card, but be careful at the rat pooping in the cup up there, because it's going to end up in a tower moment. It always ends up in a tower moment with these guys. And then we, have a new beginning. Then it's going to be a new beginning. The treason is going to be revealed with that Three of Swords, and then we have the bested democracy coming forward, and we have a new truth, this new beginning. Oh, we've got the nightmare situation with all this truth that's going to be coming out about stealing. And there's my Avril Haines card and strength card. Avril Haines bringing forth her report and strength. We've got on the bottom the energy underlying all this, the Eight of Cups, the disillusionment and walking away. We've got Russia, we've got defending on the back foot, but I think that's the connections with Russia is at an end. This is okay. I just got that whoever is behind this, now I'm not saying the person that left the documents is behind this, I'm saying they were very possibly rewarded for leaving the documents there in some way. What I'm getting, I just heard when I said was Russia in the ending card, is that Russia's going to be cut loose. They need to get rid of the orange twerp, and then Russia is going to be cut loose. Somebody is going to take control, step up and take control. And this was, yes, this was deliberate, and I feel this was part of the removing. Then we've got the investigation into the snake and the path. Now, I am going to say that this plan is not going to work. Okay, so expect some more announcements to come out about calling the Putin figure His Excellency, calling him the President of the Russian Federation. There might be some sort of news that comes out that this was on the order of the orange twerp. I mean, it's what the Kremlin would call it. Actually, Susan Lynn and Afefe had a fabulous live last night. I was listening to it in bed last night with the earplugs on before I switched over then to Sleepy History to put myself to sleep. They had a great, there's more to be revealed here. It's going to be revealed by a woman figure about the relationship between the orange twerp and the Putin figure, and the connections with the devil and treason. Okay, this is really interesting. There is a female who's in the ranks. Now, the only female I can think that would know enough would be Susie Wiles. New beginning with this, as I had put it back randomly. There's that card again. The infighting, a new beginning, and here's this figure, and there's that they had offered up, because I split the deck, and then we've got the World card, we've got the Secrets Being Revealed card, we've got the Wheel of Fortune card, and we've got the Strength card. There is somebody here working behind the scenes to bring this to an end. It's part of the removal, is what I'm getting. Okay. Oh, there's the Justice card. Actions will have consequences, and justice will have its day. Right in this? Am I right in this? And I tell you what, those two cards fell out. Flew out, literally flew out. Collective awakening, call to arms, big and huge announcement about who was tied to this devil. And then at the top is the treason card. I don't know who it is that left these on the printer. It's female. It may be a female administration person rather than, because I'm sure they don't travel alone. Okay, thank you. I'm being told not to read any further on that person for fear of revealing who they are. Is that right? Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, there she is. I don't know who they are, but yes, whoever they are. And they've got more to release, to tell. Okay, where to next? Well, I just want to ask, was the ride in the US government presidential bulletproof car and the fighter jets back to Russian airspace, were they to were they because of catching wind of an assassination attempt? Were they? Yeah. Yes. Yes. They got wind of it. Big yes. Okay, chuck those two cards back in randomly. Yeah, they did. Damn. Damn and mutter mutter. Okay. Where do I go from now? So what happened is Putin's come out of the meeting and said that he wants or demands for a peace deal, he wants vast swathes of the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. I'm sure I've pronounced those wrong. Right up to Kherson and Zaporizhia, and I'm sure I've actually butchered those as well. But vast swathes of the Donbass region. Now, the Orange Twerps come out and said, now you've got to remember back, oh gosh, was this 12 months ago or whatever, that the Kremlin held elections in those areas and got overwhelmingly 97% of those that voted to join Russia, which we know is a load of BS. I mean, when you're going door to door with armed guards asking people to vote, they ain't going to say no. So I'm just putting that out there. So anyhow, asking for vast swathes of the Donbass. It's the mineral-rich, industry-rich region of Ukraine. 45 has come out and said Russia is very powerful, Ukraine is not. So Ukraine should give this all up. Well, news came out today that Ukraine has actually had some quite major wins in that region overnight and in the last few days. The Russian military, I'm going to say, it feels like it's on its knees. The reports that are coming out are just to the point where they're having to cannibalize not just equipment but people to stay alive. It's just ghastly, ghastly, ghastly. We've got here the world card. Something's coming to an end very shortly, but they're lying. They're lying about what is actually happening. And the orange twerp was like that. I had to chuckle at the felon, it was a fabulous meeting, 10 out of 10, brilliant, all the rest of it, using his usual words. Zelensky, great progress. Yeah, no, there was no progress whatsoever. Zelensky came out after the phone call he got from the Orange Twerp while the Orange Twerp was on Air Force One. 90 minutes apparently it went for. And Zelensky has come out very diplomatically and said it was long and substantive. Now, I Googled substantive because I wanted to make sure of my meaning of substantive. It can mean meaningful, it can mean based in reality, but it can also mean considerable. So long and considerable. And it just feels like out of the 90 minutes, 87 of them were the orange twerp waffling on, but Zelensky couldn't hang up. Um, that's just what it feels like. 87 minutes of listening to the orange twerp go on and on and on and on. And when you have people and some people have said that, when they get the scam calls, they just put the receiver down and walk away and let the person talk and talk and talk until they finally realize that they're not being listened to. It's got that feels about it. Absolutely got that feels. Okay, so what do I want? Right, we're talking about a new start, and but also there is this Seven of Pentacles, looking at the options on the table, considering all the options and what to actually harvest from it. So I want to have a look at the meeting that's going to take place in the Oval Office. The orange twerp has come out and said Zelensky must make a deal. Apparently, look, to be honest, if the US backed Ukraine, Russia would be gone in 3.75 seconds. So we know that the orange twerp isn't backing Ukraine. Ukraine wants a ceasefire and then to negotiate, because if they say peace deal straight up, they know they run the risk of being blackmailed. Um, if they agree to the conditions without the ceasefire and then the negotiations, if they agree with what's straight on the table. And Russia can't be trusted anyhow. Russia had agreements with Ukraine, had agreements with Europe, and they've broken every single one of them. So how is the meeting in the Oval Office going to be? Okay, from Trump's point of view, show me the meeting in the Oval Office from Trump's point of view. How is it going to go? Zelensky's going in with Starmer, Merz, Macron, and Rutte. I believe Melania there's a lot of information that's going to come out. A lot of information. It's not necessarily missiles. You can bet pounds to peanuts while Zelensky is in the Oval Office. So Russia will be throwing everything it has at Ukraine, targeting anything and everything. Melania's letter. Yeah, she does. That is her signature. When she married the orange twerp, she changed her signature to mirror his. If that's not a show of, demanding submissiveness, I have no idea. I could put pounds to peanuts though that she didn't write that letter. It is purely okay. Thank you. I just want to talk about the letter for a minute. The letter from Melania. Think about the children. Bullshit. This is the woman that wore the jacket that said, I don't care to you. She does not care. She does not give a flying fig. This letter, when I saw it, I immediately got that it is part of the optics from those that are behind the orange twerp, part of the optics, to make out Zelensky as the bad man for not agreeing to a peace deal, because they'll play it as him not caring about the children. So this is information being brought forward, and we've got deaths. Documentation being brought forward. This can be the letter about the children because it's a child holding it. And then we've got death. So it's almost the intention of this letter. What have I got here? Yeah, the partnership, the fading misogyny, and something coming out of left field. It's part of this desperation to make it look like Zelensky plays Zelensky as the bad guy for not agreeing to the Putin dictated or the Kremlin dictated peace deal. So let's have a look. Just show me with this letter from Melania. How's this going to play out? Oh, too many. Oh, how is it going to play out? No, too many cards. Just whack them back. Try again. Oh, she's trying to play to the heartbreak and the she's trying to play on the despair of the emotions, whereas in reality she's a cold, heartless bitch. Let me put it that way. Oh, cards, come on. How is this going to be interesting to see whether of those that wouldn't shuffle are going to come out? Show me what we need to know about the letter. Am I right there in regards to the letter? Come on down. The Queen of Cups. So again, putting forth the emotional side of it. Dark-haired Queen here. Again, I love astrology, but it just goes in one ear and out the other for me. Whereas I tend to have the court cards more about the actual figure in the court card rather than their astrology. So this was put out there by the dark-haired woman, theoretically, allegedly, pleading to the emotional side of it, lifting the lid on the emotional side of it. But the challenge is the secrets being revealed, the truth getting out there, the lunacy of it. We know what she's like. I mean, someone who decorates the White House with blood red Christmas trees and paves over the rose garden. Wears a jacket that says, "I don't care, do you?" down to looking at kids in cages at the border. We see the reality for what it is. The energy behind it, she might find herself on the back foot in regards to this. I don't think she wrote the letter. I'm just going to say it, and I don't think she signed it. I highly suspect she didn't even know it existed until it was publicised. May have even been written by Russia, with the secrets coming out. Why am I feeling that it was written by Russia just like that? You know, His Excellency, the President of the Federation, was obviously written by Russia. She might find herself on the back foot and defensive about this, as there's this attack on her about the supposed letter. In the past, we've got the manifestation. This is also distraction. Look over here while this hand's doing that over there. The manipulation, the distraction, the manifestation, the creating of something out of nothing. I don't know that she even knew about this letter. And crowning this reading is the Ten of Pentacles. Those with their snouts in the trough. It's oligarchs. But it's also very much about legacy and handing from one generation to the other. The legacy. In the immediate future, forced to retreat under the face of the truth of it. Again, I think there's going to be a leak that she did not write this letter. In fact, that she probably had no idea that it existed. And there's going to be a legal forcing to retreat, or just a truth that comes out that will force them to sort of backpedal on it. Okay. Externally, on public display, nobody's cheering. It can be a victory. For me, it's a false victory card. This is trying to appear tough and victorious in regards to this when they've actually been forced to back down. And yeah, be careful what you wish for, because there's that rat pooping in that cup up there. So this is very much, it can be the smug merchant, or, getting everything that you want on the emotional level, but this rat's pooping up in this cup. The hopes and fears, the two-facedness of it all. is going to be exposed. Information's going to come in from overseas. Again, these same cards, and I've shuffled and shuffled and shuffled. The poor choice and the throwing under the bus as a big announcement comes out about secrets being revealed and the lies. So I am just going to say, I don't believe she wrote this letter, and I don't believe she actually even knew it was in existence until it was publicly broadcast, because then she could do nothing about it. And I think the information about this is going to come out. She's not going to be happy. Absolutely not happy about it. Let's have a look about how does Melania, I know we will get to the Oval Office eventually. How does Melania feel about, let me just really give those a good shuffle back into the system. How does Melania feel about this letter that has supposedly come from her? How does she feel about it? So I don't think she knew that it existed. How does Melania feel about this letter to Pooty, the Pooty person, about think of the children, which we know is utter BS. Those words would never pass her lips. How does Melania feel about it? Oh, forced to retreat. This was the card that was on the bottom when in that last reading that I didn't pull out. The Two of Pentacles, trying to juggle it, but there's an ending here. I don't think she appreciates it. I think she's going to be forced to retract the letter. I think she's been put in a really difficult position, and this might see her being done with the orange twerp, because this is the ending card. Two of Pentacles, a decision needs to be made about whether the money is worth it. And I don't think it is. I think she's been squirreling away. I believe she's bought a property in Switzerland already. And you have to be a multi-millionaire and prove it to be able to buy property in Switzerland. I think she's done. Feeling entrapped by this, and she doesn't like it. She wants out. Five of Pentacles, the burden, with the Ten of Wands, end of a cycle. Yeah, I'm just going to say I don't think she even knew the letter existed until it was publicly put out there, and it's not going to go over well, and I think it's almost last straw for her as well. Okay, where do we go next? Might switch out, get some different cards for the actual house meeting. I'm going to use the Lightseer's Tarot for Zelensky. Lightseer's Tarot for Zelensky. And I'm going to use the Trip and Wait for the orange twerp. So let's start. How is the White House Oval Office meeting going to go for Zelensky? He's got his posse with him. Oh, what a posse to have. Talk about powerful. Talk about pull no punches. Oh my goodness. What an amazing crew. They're just like Zelensky's big brothers and cousins all around him, protecting him from the bully. Let's have a look. How is the White House meeting going to go for Zelensky? How's it going to go for Volodymyr Zelensky. How's it going to go for Volodymyr Zelensky? What are we going to see happen? Okay, I'm going to do a bigger spread on this, an energy spread. So show me, how is this Oval Office White House meeting going to go for Volodymyr Zelensky? He's got Starmer, Merz, Macron and Rutte in tow. Van der Leyen and Melania are both backing him as well. Mentioned it quite a while back that apparently the orange twerp, the reason he left the Canadian was at the G7 or something so quickly was because he had made lascivious comments about Meloni and was basically tossed out by Carmi. Pretty much tossed out. Let's have a look. How's it going to go for Zelensky? How is the Oval Office meeting, right, going to go for Zelensky? Come on down. I told you I'll be here 3 hours later with you guys. Right, the Ten of Wands. Oh, he's got strength on his side too, on the bottom there. But the first card out, the signifier card for this Ten of Wands, he is going to have to put something down, put something to the side. This is about letting go of the, standing on the hill that you're prepared to die on, letting go of some messaging or some demands or something like that so that it can move forward. I don't like that. I'd like Zelensky to basically give the orange twerp the double bird, but he's going into this meeting knowing that he has to put aside some of the rhetoric that he has stood by in the past as he moves forward on this new journey. So it's like putting the extra plans onto this beast of burden. It looks like a yak to me. Letting the yak out to pasture on the side of the road and moving forward with just this, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think she's got 3 in a case there. 4 wands. So yeah, very much putting aside. So he's going in. He's going to put aside some of the plans or some of the rhetoric in the past. He's going in with a fairly open mind to start again. Okay, the second signifier, this isn't a challenge card in this particular reading. The second signifier is the strategy is to go in. I'm just going to say he's going to go in with a very open mind, but there is going to be no emotion in this meeting for him. He's going in with a strategy, a plan. He's looking to the future for his country with brutal honesty and truth within him. So again, they're not definitive cards. He's going in with an open mind here about the future of his country. Right, the energy behind the scenes, we've got the 10 of Pentacles, so another 10, and we've got the Emperor card. So this is about his legacy and him being in control. This is the energy behind the scenes. He is going to be in the control seat with what he's not. I'm just going to say he's not going to be dictated to. And if the orange twerp tries to dictate to him, the orange twerp's going to look like a fool. We'll see how we go with that. But yeah, he's in the hot seat, but he's in the place of control. This is his legacy. This is his decision to make, or I should say Ukraine's, and Ukraine have given him the support to do so. The EU has stepped back and said, well, it's not up to us to dictate to Ukraine where their boundaries are. This is all about them. So, but this is about coming together. This is about support. This is about the community of Europe coming together. And it's a positive legacy if you have a look at the joy on this card, this is coming together and the joy of the future generations. And he knows that this is what goes down now will dictate future generations going forward in Ukraine. He doesn't do this for him. He does this for his children who are only very young, his grandchildren, and all the other children and grandchildren coming forth in Ukraine. But I think he's in the position of control here. He has strength on his side. He's in the dominant position, especially with his posse. Right, the energy coming out of this legacy is he's open to anything, is what I'm getting. Pigs can fly. There are possibilities. He's coming with integrity and love into this. He's open to options, but there have to be options of integrity. Okay, and then we've got the Ace of Swords, a new beginning, a new start, a new truth, a new strategy, cutting through the BS. But there are still steps that need to be taken here. So it's not the start, but it is very much the start of this new beginning. Okay? Energy hanging over him, the karmic energy is the Death and Rebirth card, a significant ending of the darkness and a new beginning in the light. These are really interesting cards. And the other karma hanging over him is the despair of the death, the despair of the decision that will weigh on his shoulders in regards to this. But there are opportunities here. It is about unfurling from a rigid position to pick up the key to unlock the door to the potential that lays behind. I think he's going to have to give some, which I don't like, but I don't know quite how that's going to go. Let's see where we've got the Queen of Cups, having to keep a lid on the emotions of this meeting. Queen of Swords is front and center here, the Queen of Cups, the outcome. The Queen and King of Cups are also very emotionally mature, adept negotiators, diplomats, etc. But again, the Queens are more internally rather than externally. The Kings are external. Keeping a lid on the despair, the heartbreak, the loss, the sense of betrayal and deceit. I will say again and again, if Ukraine had been given what they needed right on the start when they asked for it, this conflict would have been over years ago. Absolutely. So he's going in, he's having to keep a lid on his emotions because of the betrayal and the deception and the heartbreak and anguish that he has had to go through for the sake of his country. It's a really despairing situation he's in. Oh gosh, these are awful outcome cards. But let's see where they go. There is this Dove of Peace here, however. He's got a really difficult decision that he has to come to. But we've got, as the final card there, the Three of Wands. He does have the support, international support. He needs to look at the bigger picture and a plan being formulated. And then we've got the Ten of Swords. Having to acknowledge the truth, let go of some of the truth, and step over into this new beginning, this new dawn, this new over the horizon into this new beginning. And then we've got the Hierophant. This is about the future that you want, stepping into your power and then taking the steps to bring it about. I don't like these cards. I would have loved to have seen, that he gets all that he wants, but I think the strength here We've got the Page of Wands, which is about bringing forward powerful messages. We've got this working together with others to create magic in the face of this devil energy. And we know who the devil is, but he has strength at his back and he's bringing forward powerful plans, powerful messaging, which will shine a light on the deceitful behavior of this devil. He is protected, and he will stand up. He's protected against these attacks from this devil and this deceit. And then we have the Empress card, but she's about the birth of something significantly new, and birth is always painful. We've got doesn't matter which way the baby comes out, it's painful. We've then got the Hanged Man, looking at things differently, working out a plan, coming together, and then we have the Justice card. Yeah, I would have liked to see cards where he whipped butt in the Oval Office. I think he's been forced into a situation where he is going to have to give up some of the land or something along those lines. I am getting it's only going to be short term though. When the current Kremlin is over and done with, yeah, okay. We've got here the plan going forward, looking at the bigger picture, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune. The wheel is turning, and it will continue to turn. I'm getting that when the current Kremlin is done and dusted, which we know is not far off, keep seeing Yulia Navalny, and I keep seeing Crimea. I've been getting for years Crimea as a sovereign country. Won't be so much returned to Ukraine, it will become its own independent country. And okay, I'm just going to ask the yes/no question cards before I start on how this is going to go down for Trump. Yes and yes, as I split the deck. Yes and yes. My thought was, is the Ukrainian lands going to be returned to Ukraine when the current regimes fall, which we know they will? Not sustainable. And flew out, yes. On the bottom, yes, yes. What's on the top? Oh, yeah, I'll stick to those three. Thank you very much. Yeah, I do. I'm getting the Ukraine, and it's not long. It's not long. We just got to get through this. Really, it feels like a really narrow gap before we can, where we feel like we've been squeezed. Something shocking. So I'm using the Trip and Wait Tarot. How's this Oval Office meeting going to go for the orange twerp? He hasn't got Shady there, and I mean Shady was the absolute a-hole in the last meeting. You've never said thank you. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's got nothing to say thanks for. Anyhow, Shady's not there. Shady's not there. Rubio will be there. Probably Hegseth will be there. They're going to actually look pathetic next to the powerhouses of Starmer, Merz, Macron, Rutte, and Zelensky. They're going to look ineffectually weak, is what I'm getting. So let's have a look. How's it going to go for the orange twerp, this White House meeting? I don't even know if there'll be a press conference afterwards. How's it going to go? He'll rush off to his, always going to be exposed as having no clothes. He's going to claim it as a victory, but he's not going to get what he wants. And then we have the emotional overwhelming, and we have the Tower card. So he's going to look like he's butt naked on a horse. Boy, that would chafe. Yeah, here's Ukraine shining a light on he got nothing. He's going to claim it was victorious, but nobody's cheering. If you have a look at the figures in the background, nobody's cheering, nobody's celebrating, nobody's buying it. Disappointment in the harvest, inability to harvest. He's not going to get what he wants, and I hope they've hidden the ketchup, or what we call in Australia tomato sauce, because there's going to be this emotional outpouring. He's going to claim that he's brokered peace. I'm going to put it that way. He's going to claim he's brokered peace, but there's going to be this emotional outpouring. Oh, news is out when he was talking to the, was it the Finnish foreign leader? Apparently about tariffs. He then threw on the end that he would like the peace prize, please, as part of the negotiation. Excuse me, not how it works. But we've got something emotionally overwhelming here. And then we have the Tower card. Now, I keep seeing that he's going to publicly really lose it. He's going to have this almost like emotional breakdown publicly. And I wonder whether it's this humiliation that he's going to experience. He's going to try and spin it as a win for him, but nobody's buying it. Okay, so let's have a look. How is this going to go for the Orange Twerp, this Oval Office meeting? How's this Oval Office meeting? I put those back randomly, so it'll be interesting to see whether they come out again. How's this Oval Office meeting going to go for the Orange Twerp? Right, well, this one flew out. God, I'm at the hour already. This one flew out, and it's just going to be chaotic, garbly messaging as he tries to bring it home. Oh, God. It's just going to be chaotic, burdensome, garbly messaging. Okay. He, he's going to make, the challenge is some sort of bribery payment. Would that really be right? Is he going to try and bribe Ukraine? Say, we'll give you all this money if you take this deal? Do not be surprised if he comes out, because that's how he operates. Always, it's either blackmail, threatening directly without blackmail, or it's a financial transaction for him. That's all he relies on. He's got no humanity about him at all. He sees it as a financial transaction. He may offer some money to Ukraine to make it all go away. Do not be surprised. But it won't be enough. Whatever he offers, it won't be enough. And he can't be trusted to actually pay it either. He never pays his debts. Okay. The energy that he's stewing in is the plotting and planning going on behind the scenes, potentially to try and raise this money to offer it up. But this is, plans going on behind the scenes that he thinks is going to work, because he thinks that other people think like he does. He does not understand the concept of Zelensky will not be bribed, basically. Zelensky is in this position because of, well, he got thrust into it, but he is the man for this position right here and now. Intelligent, articulate, can spot a bad actor from miles off. I've been getting from the start that when this conflict is over, this invasion is over, that he will retire. But boy, oh boy, will he if anything, he is going to get the Peace Prize, or some powerful accolades from around the world. And boy, wouldn't that rub the orange twerp up the wrong way, but I think he might be gone by then. So yeah, he's plotting and planning behind the scenes with others about this money offer that he's going to come out with. But we've got the Tower in the past for him. It's already over. It's already over for the orange twerp. He just doesn't know it yet. Crowning this reading, he's going to be on the back foot, wild-eyed and defensive. He's not going to like the outcome, not going to like what's on offer for him. He thinks he's the star. He's the one that it's just not going to... Anyhow, externally, this is about upping the offer, upping the money offer. Work going, but this can also be hard work going on behind the scenes, skilled work going on behind the scenes. But I just think he's going to keep upping the money offer with no intention of ever paying it with that Two of Pentacles. He's going to come out with $1 trillion billion, and why should the US have to pay for it? Russia should be paying for it with its oil royalties until the oil runs out. I don't think he's going to be able to bring it home, and I think he has no intention of paying it anyhow. The hopes and fears, no, it's just going to end up in a bit of a bun fight. We've got the Star here, the outcome, the Star. He thinks he's going to be the star. We've got the Queen of Cups. The lid's been kept on something not yet revealed. He thinks he's the benevolent, protective king, but there's something not yet revealed here in regards to this plan that's still underway. And we've got the Death card here. I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off. Yeah, inability to reap what he wants. I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off. We've got the Empress, Russia, the Queen of Swords, the strategy, but we've got the mercenary actions, we've got the Hermit, the investigation, and the Fool. Looking like a fool, the light being shone in the dark and made to look like a fool. I think truth is going to come out more about his connections with Russia in regards to this, as he tries to play the mercenary, tries to buy off Ukraine. It's going to shine a light. He's going to be made to look a fool, as are those that are around him. And what he's going to say is probably going to be pretty treasonous. And he's going to be revealed as the Emperor with no clothes, chafing at the juncture. And I love the blue and yellow here. This is going to be victorious for Ukraine, whatever it is. It's not going to... I just think whatever he's going to come out with, it's not going to be acceptable, and it's going to be basically pretty much treasonous. Trump is going to look like the fool. I'm just going to grab, sorry about this being so long, the Golden Universal Tarot, and I want to have a look at, because with Zelensky, there was obviously something, and as I split the deck, I've got an unexpected offer out of left field that will bring things to an end on the world stage. So I do feel that he is going in, probably having to put down, leave behind some of his demands, but there's something going on the world stage that he knows that the orange twerp doesn't. And I think what's going to happen is it's going to be direct negotiations between Ukraine and Russia. There's going to be no orange twerp in there. And what did I get? Yeah. Yep, the ace there. The ace. And I'm getting a ace of, yeah, what is happening is going to end up in direct negotiations. I don't think it's those that are currently in the Kremlin. Who are the negotiations going to end up being with? I keep getting Yulia Navalny. Yulia. Oh, and I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills. The Queen of Swords making some sort of ruling. The Hierophant in government. And then we have an opportunity, an offer being made. On the bottom, we've got the Devil, secrets being revealed, desperately trying to hold on. Um, that Devil. So show me. Is the negotiation? Yeah, the Devil's just going to offer money. The Devil is just going to offer basically a bribe. I want my peace treaty, my peace prize. Here, have some money. That's what he's going to offer, and I don't think it's going to go down very well. Okay, show me. How is this bribe? We've got Russia and we've got big announcements coming out. Now, Russia TV played the greeting between the orange twerp and the Putin figure on the tarmac, played behind the scenes video. I think they've got even more. We've got leaks here, whistleblower, and secrets being revealed. I think Russia is going to play more. They're done with the orange twerp. They're done with the Putin figure. This is really interesting. We've got the Emperor and we've got the infighting. The Emperor and the infighting. I think both the Susan Lin put it really well. They can't state that Putin is deceased because then it causes what's known as a power vacuum. Given the current circumstances, they've got to try and allay the current circumstances before they can publicly change over leadership. But let's have a look. It's pretty much the same in the US. They have to sidestep the orange twerp before Shady can step in, but Shady's not going to last. Yeah, there's a lot of, blindfolding, loosey-goosey with the truth, to put it a particular way. So, okay, how's the, right, we've got the mercenary actions. We've got a backlash against it with the two knights, and then we've got the handing over of the legacy and the death card. Okay, I was asking about how's it going to go over for the orange twerp, him offering this bribery. I don't think it's going to go well. I think it's actually going to end up as part of the removal. We then have the King of Swords and the government card. So I think he's going to offer it, and he wasn't authorized to offer it, and there's going to be some legal action about it, perhaps from within his own ranks, to remove him, because we've got this manifestation, and then we've got the orange twerp himself. Look at this over here while that's happening over there. Bringing forward something new. I think they're going to get rid of him over this. It's almost, I'm getting that they made a backroom deal in the regime. Oh yes, offer them this. They'll take it. And then when he offers it, they've already set the stage for him to be removed over it. There's just something there. Okay, let's have a look though. I got these cards out. Who is Zelensky? Who is Ukraine actually going to negotiate with going forward? Who is Ukraine going to negotiate with? Because it's not going to be the orange twerp. Who is he going to negotiate with going forward? Oh, there's so many other topics I wanted to have a look at, but not today. The Texas gerrymandering, I'm just going to put out there, failed because of the Democrats. Obama's come out and talked to those Texas Democrats. It's interesting how he's now really starting to show his hand. What else? Oh, there's rumours US Congress doesn't want to come back from their vacation because, first of all, you've got both the Republican and Democrat senators going to bring forward Epstein survivors, Epstein and Felon 45 survivors. But they also will then be forced, I think after they come back, they've got 4 weeks to actually pass a bill to fund the government. Otherwise, we face that government's shut down again. But I'll have a look at that shortly. So who is Ukraine actually going? Right. Well, we've got Russia. Who are they actually going to negotiate with? It's Russia, but it's not the current Russia, the blonde-haired woman who is in control of Russia, the new Russia. I keep getting they're going to negotiate with Yulia Navalny when the new Russia is born. The blonde-haired woman. The challenge is for them, who are then going to almost having to accept what is on the table now, knowing that this negotiation is coming in the future. They don't like the current offer. That's their challenge. The energy they're stewing in is because the orange twerp is still there. The Kremlin and Netanyahu, they'll almost go down like a pack when they go down. They'll tear each other apart like wounded wolves and then just go down. Yeah, the energy that they're stewing in at the moment is having to deal with the orange twerp and his regime. Okay, in the past, the circles of support, they've got the support of the EU, but emotionally they've got the support. So you've got the 3 cups here of support. They're going to have to, I think, accept this 4th cup that they don't want to bring peace now, knowing that this is all going to change. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, we got the Death. So who are they going to have to? Well, the Emperor, the King's being trampled underfoot, and at the dawn on the new day. Yeah, it's almost like they're going to have to accept it now, knowing that these deaths are coming, and then they'll negotiate with Yulia down the track. Action being taken, strategy being taken, cutting through with the sword of truth, determination. It's also my Jack Smith card, but this is more about cutting through with a strategy, bringing forward a strategy here and now, knowing that everything is going to change. So here is the Wheel of Fortune in the external environment. This is the here and now. This is the past. This is going forward. Knowing that everything is going to change and they're going to come together and talk evenly across. Again, you've got the dark-haired man and the blonde woman. The dark-haired man and the blonde woman coming together, sorting it out, bringing healing with them internally. Okay, I'm putting it out there. Strengths, compassionate strengths, as in the hopes and fears, moving things forward legally. Then we've got the payout coming. This is a different payout, and this is hard work to rebuild. So this is almost like recompense being given to Ukraine, because this is the outcome. This is the legally moving things forward and moving forward the truth, then the payout, then the rebuild. A lot of information is going to come out at that time very quickly, and it is all good. It is all good. So I like these. I like these cards. On the bottom, we've got the Star of Hope and Healing. At the moment, need to walk away because there is this hidden agenda. We've got the Two of Swords. We're planning, and then we have the Justice card. This false knight coming forward, but it's going to end up in a tower because these same cards again, because what's going to come out is the false offer, the tower, the chaotic messaging, which is going to lead into an emotional overwhelming and expose the abuse of power for what it is. I mean, the cards keep going and we end up with, being treasonous and all the rest of it. So, yeah, I think so Zelensky or Ukraine accepting an offer in the here and now. Do not invest too much anguish and disappointment in it, because it ain't over. It ain't over. When the invasion is over and these invading, misogynistic, patriarchal dictators are gone, then the real discussions start. I'm actually just going to grab my yes, no cards and then I'll finish up for the day, because what are we up to? An hour and 20 minutes. And it's yes, yes. Are they already talking to Yulia behind the scenes? Yes, yes, as I split the deck. In case you're wondering, yes, there are no cards in there. 12 yes, 12 no, and 2 blank. So show me. Are they currently in discussions with Yulia? We've got the blank card. The future is not yet written. Yes, 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 yes. See, there are no cards, but the future, it's not yet written, but yes and yes. So I like those. Yeah, I think they are already in discussions with her and her, if I say shadow government, let me just put that out there. Okay, love to you all. Yes, the eyes are gonna get fixed. I know what it is now, but oh man. And just going to be interesting to see what the blood tests I had done today come back in the doctor's meeting on Thursday. I very probably won't be on tomorrow unless something really major happens. I'll be back Wednesday, I believe. Wasn't that interesting? The National Guard. South Carolina sending National Guard after Laura Loomer outed Lindsey Graham in an interview for being gay. We know he's gay. Come on, Lindsay, just admit it. We know, the whole world knows. However, I suspect it wasn't necessarily consenting age, which is what he is really scared about. And that he's been blackmailed over, blah, 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 blah. You know this is all happening behind the scenes, and I suspect all 3 of those states, the Orange Twerp or those behind the scenes, have got blackmail information on those that are sending the National Guard. I am just going to say things are, boy, as if they can get any worse. Will get worse before they get better. But we are literally, I keep saying it's within grasping distance, but what happens is that actions are then taken and things sort of stabilize for a while, but with each day we are getting closer. So please hang in there, look after your community, make your networks, and look after yourselves. Love to you all. Take care.